What's up, guys? Machado Rockstar here again. We're doing another educational Star Realms video. Doing it with Mr. Poopfarter78. Let's take a look at this pretty awesome, really fun game that we played together here. Alrighty. First things first. Boom. 2 trade. Theoretically, you could go Alliance Transport here. But I actually ended up going Security Craft. And let me explain my thinking a little bit. There's two prominent blue cards out here. Alliance Transport and Patrol Boat. My thinking was if I get Security Craft, I'm almost certainly going to get one of these. So I should be able to combo it up. Even if I don't, though, it's still an excellent card in and of itself. That being said, I didn't really pay attention to the gambits and didn't realize that my opponent had the gambit that allows you to get a card of 4 cost or less. So, in hindsight, this is actually probably not the best play. I think the best play would have been to maybe hold on to this and go for like a bigger score later on. Maybe just get the Alliance Transport. But I'm okay with Security Craft. I do like it as a card, and I think it probably is the best choice out of here. With second going to Patrol Boat, Orbital Platform. I apologize for the ambient noise again. And so then my opponent picks up Cargo Pod. I think this is a little odd. I firmly believe that a hate buy at this point, taking away Patrol Boat, taking away Alliance Transport, taking away Orbital Platform, would have been the better play. Cargo Pod is a good card in a vacuum, but I think it's a card that has relative value, right? A card that gives you, when you spend trade to acquire trade, your hope is to get something really good, something really big. And aside from Enforcer Mech, there's nothing out there that's like really good. So you end up buying trade for to do what? To just have trade? That's a problem. You want to use your trade to actually do something with it. So I think this play right here is probably not the best play, and it doesn't prevent me from furthering my strategy. Yeah, and so he does end up getting Patrol Boat. He does keep that away from me, so it's fine. It's fine, but I think it's one of those plays that isn't sort of taking the board texture into consideration. So I draw the card. I'm shooting for Enforcer Mech here. Okay, maybe I'm not. Oh, yeah, I forgot. Um, he doesn't have enough trade to get Enforcer Mech, so I actually ended up going Alliance Transport, Destroyer Bot, because I knew he couldn't get Enforcer Mech, and I still wanted to get a scrap, and my thinking was I could acquire that later. So I really wanted the blue card to go with my security craft, and then I wanted Destroyer Bot because I wanted to make sure I got scrap. And I also knew that he couldn't get it. Now in a vacuum, if you don't know your opponent can buy scrap or not, it's typically better to go with the better card. So if I didn't look ahead on his deck, getting Enforcer Mech would have been the better play. But in this particular case, because I knew he couldn't buy Enforcer Mech, I think this is a better play. Yep. And so here he goes. He's buying Gunship. Gunship's another one of those great cards. Deals damage and gives you more trade. So he's acquiring trade, but again, like I said, why? Where is the Nanobot Swarm? Where's the Leviathan? Where is the Brain World? Where is the Factory World? Where is the card that's going to win you the game in and of itself? It's not there. So you're acquiring trade to what? Get cards that you can already afford? But Gunship's still a good card. I'm not gonna shit on him too much for that. Yeah, and he only had 4 trade anyway. So, given the cards that he could afford, Gunship captured outpost, orbital platform. Gunship is the best card, so it's not a bad play by any means. And I end up getting Star Market again. So my thinking is gonna go blue. I'm gonna play defensively, and I'm just gonna try to hold out. My opponent has acquired a lot of trade, which means he doesn't have a lot of damage. So in all likelihood, my bases and my defense is gonna allow me to play a long style game, and that's what I'm thinking. I'm gonna out efficient my opponent. I'm gonna have lots of healing and just enough damage to whittle him down and win the game. So here's another odd one. He scraps the gunship to get Chancellor Hartman, not Enforcer Mech. Interesting. I think he valued the 2 scraps immediately over the scrapping later, which I think is fine. I'm not opposed to this play. And, he also gets a card in the Frontier Hawk that he can actually put to good use. So, yeah, I think this is fine. Actually, he had 3 trade. No, I take that back. I think he should have gotten the overall platform. I didn't realize he had 3 trade. I thought he only had 2 trade. He had 7 trade total? Oh, yeah, he did. Yeah, because Gunship was 4, and then he had 3 more. And he scrapped one of his scouts. I think if you're going to do this play here, right, if you're going to get the Frontier Hawk, then just use Chancellor Hartman and scrap another scout. If you're not going to scrap the other scout, Orbital Platform is a better play. Yes, this draws first, but it's only 3 damage. This is going to sit out here and give you card draw much more effectively over time. Plus, hopefully he sees that I'm kind of going defensively and going kind of bases, so taking that away from me might have been a better play. In theory. Yeah, and again, he acquires trade for no reason. So I've got 3 trade. This is absolutely the best play here. Right. Blobbot is an amazing card. Amazing card. 5 damage. Potentially a scrap. Potentially trade. Triggers red and green. It's just fucking fantastic. Yep. And notice, Security Craft giving me that heals, keeping my life total buffered. We're going to whittle him down. That's the plan. So boom, he scraps immediately. And scraps from hand, which is odd because he's got, a discard pile. So he could scrap later on. Picks up the orbital platform. Yeah, that's fine. I think I would have liked a scrap here and then maybe pick up Click. But getting orbital platform is fine. Again, he probably should have gone orbital platform, captured outpost, then start setting up bases and setting up card draw instead of trying to get more trade. Yeah, I want the captured outpost though. I can't let him combo. So, it's a good card. I like it. And I got yellows too. So, it works well with my deck. Yep. 3, 5, 6, 7. He ends up getting a Force Mech. Yeah, I think that's fine. Could he have gotten Siege Fortress? Oh. Yeah. Again, Siege Fortress in a vacuum is a better card, but I think he's also realizing he needs to get a little more efficient and he needs to start coming at me. Because I'm just going to sit pretty with my, my heals and stuff and slowly whittle him down. So he's got to figure out another avenue to win. And scrapping and damage is probably the way to go. So I think it's a good play. Maybe Siege Fortress might have been a little better. Not better, but just an alternative way to play the hand. Because he does have some yellow cards. Siege Fortress would help out with those, would combo, and you keep it away from me. So, to me, this is a question of, am I going to further my own strategy? Or am I going to try to attack my opponent's strategy and keep cards away from him in that sense. So I think either one is fine, and he chose the push his own strategy method, and I think that's okay. Um, Again, it's up to you, and it sort of depends on, you have to make those calculations for yourself. Like, is it better for me to further my own strategy, or is it better for me to hinder my opponent's strategy? Because remember, even though you're hindering your opponent's strategy, you get to keep the card, you get to use it. So sometimes I'll start off trying to stop my opponent's strategy, and then it'll just turn into me owning their strategy. You're like, oh, I bought this yellow to keep it away from him. I bought this yellow to keep it away from him. Oh, now I'm a yellow deck. Like, it can happen. So, worth thinking about. But I think this is a good play. I think it's a good decision. I also do think he should scrap this Explorer, but maybe keep the trade pod now, because is a 7-drop and a 6-drop out there. He might want to keep this around for later. The game is still young, so let's see what he does. Yep. Ugh. Orbital Shuttle. Why? Is it to keep it away from me? I don't like this play. I think this is not a good play. Does he have bases? He has a couple. Nah, I think this play bloats his deck, because he's not really efficient yet. So he's probably not gonna actually get the card draw and the heals out of this card. I think he should just skip this card. Granted, giving it to me is probably bad, but I think this bloats his deck. I think, again, another one of those, like, trade for trade's sakes kind of things. Oh, look at this turn. Yeah, I get Siege Fortress. Let's go. Ooh, and I get trade. And whoa. Ew, this is bad for my opponent. Oh man, that kind of sucks. There goes a lot of his plans. Man, yeah, he probably that was really bad. That was pretty unlucky. uh, because again, it got rid of all the big cards that he was trying to get. And this is another reason why acquiring too much trade is often a detriment. It's often bad for you, because sometimes you are trying to get a specific card and you just can't get it. Tosses a Viper. Oh, okay. So he does have enough. So yeah, he was looking to get this frigate. I think that's fine. It's a good play. I love Alliance Frigate. And again, he's kind of building a yellow deck now. So, all right, yeah. So scrap and yellow. This is his plan, right? Get some scrap, get mostly yellows, try to attack. Okay, I think that's fair. I think that's a good. It's about as good a counter strategy as you can ask for. Like he's definitely behind at this point. So any strategy that he employs is not going to have that good of a win percentage. But I think he's making the good win percentage choice here. Yep. Scrap, bang. Oh, love this card. Frickin' Stealth Needle. So yeah, look at me. I'm just adding efficiency, adding damage. You know, we're just playing along. This is the strategy. Yeah. So he's just got to buy damage here. Again, is another one of those things where, so now he's just buying as much damage as he possibly can. But I think Heavy Cruiser's the better play here, right? It's weightless. It deals damage. It's potentially 2 card draws. And again, it furthers a yellow strategy, which is something he's trying to do. So I think he's playing a little bit. I don't think he's committing to the best winning chance strategy here. Boom. Yeah, that's fine. Face protection, scrap. This is good. Scraps that. Good. Remember, I said keep it around, right? Potentially you're going to use it later. Yeah, this is all good. He might have wanted to scrap the Enforcer mech to draw another card, but I don't know what he had left in his deck. It's hard to say. Ooh, I draw kind of shitty here. But, hey, Security Craft, that's why it's so good. You notice I never used it for trade, but it dealt 8 damage and it healed me for 6, so it did its job. And that's ball game, fellas. Oh. He almost won. He almost did it. Not bad. I don't think Poopfarter played poorly at all. But, a few too many trade cards, a really unfortunate event that wiped out his game plan. And quite honestly, I thought his game plan is just a little slow. You acquire too much trade. Because here's the thing. First, you have to buy the trade. Then you have to draw the trade. Then you have to play the trade and acquire the big card. Then you have to cycle through again to get the big card. So you're adding an additional cycle before you can play your massive card. Damage does this. I play scouts, I get damage card. I draw damage card, it deals damage. That's it. It realizes its potential right away. Right away. As soon as you draw it, it deals damage. Boom. This is why damage cards are typically better than regular cards. This is why a card like Moonworm is so highly rated. It's 7 damage and a card draw. Or 8 damage, I think. Is it 8 damage? 8 damage and a card draw. It's ridiculous. And you kind of saw what happens when you have a sort of clear plan versus when you have a plan that's not quite clear or is a little more reliant on luck. The plan that I had in place was scrap down, protect with bases, become efficient, and then just acquire just enough damage to whittle them down and win, right? Like, it was fairly clear what my strategy was after, like, turn 2 or 3. Once I bought the security craft and got the Alliance transport, it was like, all right, here's the plan. And you should always be assessing your opponent's deck so you can make the best decisions on how to play and how to counter what they're trying to do. And you'll often find that games at the highest level is my opponent bought a card, and then what does that say about his strategy? How am I going to counter that? Okay, I'm going to buy this card to counter his strategy, and then now I'm going to try to do this, and then I'm going to figure out, and then my strategy becomes this, and then once he knows that he knows my strategy, he's going to buy cards to counter that strategy, and then it goes back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and then whoever draws enough damage at the right time wins. That's typically how high level games go. And you saw in a game like this, I thought he played quite well, and he definitely did the best he could to try to come back. But I think some early game mistakes with a little too much trade ultimately kind of doomed him. But hey, a player of this level and this caliber will definitely have a nice win percentage. But perhaps there's a few other things that he could do to fix a few holes in the game. But thank you, Poopfarter78, for the game. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I'm going to try to crank these out as fast as I possibly can today, and let you guys enjoy. So, thanks again, everyone. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you later.